morning. I'm Mohammad Hamza of Computer Science branch of Babu Ravidaf Engineering College BBDEC. I'm here to present my seminar on the topic blockchain. My seminar coordinator is Miss Alka Singh, Associate Professor of Computer Science Department of BBDEC. Now, I'll tell you about blockchain, a technology that permits transaction to be gathered into blocks and recorded cryptographically, chains blocks in a chronological order, and allow the resulting ledger to be accessed by different servers. Now, I'll tell you in some simple way what is a blockchain. A blockchain is nothing but a chain of a block. Then what is a block? Block is simple like a database, not like a normal database. A normal database is like is a centralized database, but blockchain is not a centralized database. It is a distributed, decentralized database. Uh, what information should we store in the block? Any kind of information. It depends on type of blockchain. If we are preparing in hospital blockchain, then the hospital data, Facebook data, personal data, any kind of data should be present in the block. But a common data that should be present in every block, even the block header. Now the block header, what it contains? It contains the time stamp at which the block is created, version, Merkle root, difficulty target, previous hash. Difficulty target I will tell it later when I am going to tell about miners. And Merkle root hash. Now I tell you what is a Merkle root hash. For example, particular block contain a 10 transaction. Each transaction, for example, T1, T2, T3 up to T10. Now, lots of hashing algorithm are there which should be used in blockchain technology, like message digest, MD0, MD1, MD2, etc. and Whirlpool 0, Whirlpool L, then secure hash, SHA-0, SHA-1, SHA-256. SHA-256 should be used in this Bitcoin blockchain, and hashing technique. It is also hashing technique which should be used in Ethereum blockchain. Now, with the help of this hashing technique, we prepare a hash of T1 transaction H1. Then for T2 transaction, we prepare a hash H2. In this way, we prepare a hash of T10 transaction like H10. In this way, we are having the 10 transaction H1, H2, H3 up to H10. Now, with the help of same hashing technique, we prepare a common hash from H1 and H2. Similarly, from H3 and H4. Similarly, from H5 and H6. In this way, we come up with a 5 hash. Now, from 5 hash, with the help of same hashing technique, we can prepare a 3 hash, then 1 hash. So this 1 hash is known as the Merkle root hash, and this hash represents the hash of the whole block. And this hash should be present in the same block as well as in the next block. Like if in the linked list, the second list store the address of the first list, third list store the address of the second list. In this way, the lists are connected in the similar way. The blocks are connected. That's why it is known as the blockchain. Okay. Now, why blockchain? First of all, why blockchain? What is the need of blockchain? First point, we don't want that someone to rule over us. That is, we don't want centralized system. I'll explain it with an example. For example, if all of us using the internet of Jio, Vodafone, Airtel, etc. Anything which we search on the internet, first this request goes to ISP, then ISP filters the request, then it passes to the server. I mean to say that my whole history, search history, my whole history should be taken care by my centralized system, that is my ISP. They should know they should know my whole history. That is centralized system. Someone is there to rule over us. But blockchain make all the thing in the decentralized way that no one is there to rule over us. This is the first advantage of blockchain. Now, the second one is the blockchain is safe and secure because it works on cryptography and hashing. I already told you. Cryptography. A lot of asymmetric cryptography is working basically in blockchain, like in the digital signature. For example, user A want to send some message to user B. First of all, what a user do? It encrypt the message using their own private key, and means A's private key. Then it also encrypt using B's public key, the receiver's public key. When the message received by the B, what we do, B first decrypt it using A's public key, then it also decrypt it using their own private key, that is B's private key. In this way, the asymmetric key cryptography works in blockchain network. Now the third point is the immutability, no chain develop trust. How immutability, how no chain? I'll tell you. Like for example, in the blockchain network, lots of miners are there. Lots of miners are there who compete each other, and the one who wins the competition are allowed to verify the house, to verify the block, add that block into the blockchain. In this way, the whole blockchain should be prevalent in every system. So the chance of hacking or any kind of fraud should be there is zero. That's why it is immutable. No chain is possible, and that basically develop the trust. Now the fourth point, the data involved in blockchain is complete. Basically, it is the complete data, consistent and verified by the multiple pairs. I already told that verified by multiple pairs means verified by multiple miners. Now this is the blockchain architecture. I already told that this is the block 1 header, block 2 header, block 3 header. Now the Merkle root, and this block 2 contains the hash of the previous block. Block 3 contains the hash of the previous block, that is the block 2, and this is the structure of centralized system, decentralized system, and this is the structure of blockchain, decentralized distributed system. Now how blockchain works, this is the most important part. For example, I'll tell it by example. For example, user A and user B. In the Ethereum platform, user A wants to send some ether. Ether is a cryptocurrency which will be used in the Ethereum platform. User A wants to send 5 ether to user B. When this request broadcasted in the blockchain network, this is the blockchain network. In the blockchain network, when this request broadcasted into the blockchain network, then all the miners start competing each other, and when the miner who win the competition validate the block in the sense that first they check in user A. First of all, they are having too much of amount to send to user B. For example, user A want to send 5 ether to user B, so the miner check if user A's account having more than 5 ether or not. If they having less than 5 ether, then transaction should be cancelled. Similarly, it checks in the user B account that user B account are able to if the user B account is there or not. If user B does not have the account, then transaction should be cancelled. In this way, the miner performs some validation, and when the validation is successful, the transaction should be added into the block, and that block should be added into the blockchain. And when this process should be done, this information should be reflected into the user's account. For example, user A having previously it was having 95 ether, now it should be having 90 ether, and user B having previously it was having 10 ether, now it is having 15 ether. In this way, the whole blockchain system works. Validation, adding, and lot of more things should be running behind the scene. Types of blockchain: public blockchain, anyone can join, like the Ethereum blockchain, Bitcoin blockchain. More and more people should invest, and lots of things are there. But the private blockchain is something different, which should be done particularly for any organization. And federated blockchain, a group of people, companies, some people come for any purpose, and they can make a blockchain for that purpose. Permissioned blockchain and permissionless blockchain are also this is the important part. This is the consensus in blockchain. These are the algorithms. These are the algorithms which should be used by the miners to compete. When I'm saying that they compete, which means they are working on this algorithm. They are using these kind of algorithms to validate the block, to add the block into the blockchain. Proof of work, proof of stake, proof of elapsed time, proof of deposit, proof of capacity. These are the algorithm. Proof of work is the very simple and mostly used by the miners, which means block has to be validated before making change. It takes at least 10 minutes to add the block. Blockchain will store in the different machine. Like this, proof of stake is something little different from proof of work. In the proof of stake, what is different, that the miner who win the competition, who add the block into the blockchain, will get some cryptocurrency. Who wins will get some cryptocurrency by the blockchain network. These are the consensus algorithm. Now, the only disadvantage of blockchain are performance degradation. it is which means that blockchain uses hashing cryptography basically. So it is very difficult for a person who is not having the knowledge of hashing cryptography should come into the blockchain network. So a person having the knowledge, the requisite knowledge, that the hashing cryptography or distributed computing also, this much part, a person who knows all this much part should went for blockchain network, otherwise it will not able to come into the blockchain network. So it's very complex. Now the huge computation requirement, I already tell that lots of miners are there with they are computing, so lots of computing resources are required. According to a study, 450 trillion transactions are processed per second. 450 trillion, a huge amount of transactions should be processed per second, which require obviously it requires tremendous computing resources, and that resources must, to set up that kind of resources, it requires a high cost. The third disadvantage, and organizational restrictions, means that it is a trending technology. Not much of the organization are aware of this. So the organization are adopting it less in the current time. What are the potential applications of blockchain? Smart contract is not a very different thing. It is similarly a program. Like we are running a program. If in Java, similarly we are writing a smart contract as a normal program, if else program in Solidity language. A Solidity language is run in the Ethereum platform. Now, for example, in a normal web application, what is the theme is that front end, then server, then back end. Now the decentralized application, how it works in similarly the front end HTML, CSS, JavaScript, then Web3 JAPI, and then a smart contract in the back end. It is a simple program which uses the if and else condition. For example, if India wins, Atul got 200 ether. Else, which means if India lost, Pranay got 200 ethers. Simple program that should be written in Solidity language. Another potential applications are direct interaction. I already tell that blockchain came into the market to make the things in the decentralized way. So the central party, the application, for example, Paytm, Swiggy, Ola, Uber, all the other application which act as a central power. So they should be replaced in the coming time by blockchain. Everyone is aware of the Paytm. Every month, what Paytm do? Every month they send a Paytm wallet summary to every Paytm user, which means that Paytm having all the database record of every user of the Paytm. So blockchain make this different, that that no central power, that no one is there to know about myself. This is the decentralized way. Now the tracking and auditing means consumer feel cheated as they do not get authentic product. Now one of the big advantage of blockchain is that every miner and every user having the same and similar copy of the blockchain, so there is transparency among them. No user would be unaware of the transaction, unaware of the things what should be happening in the blockchain. They can easily see into the blockchain, into the system. So this transparency make the things easy, and no user, no consumer would be feel cheated. Like then IoT, internet of things, like the different, what is IoT? The different sensor, software and appliances are connected with the help of IoT. Another smart contract play a big role. Basically smart contract of Ethereum play a big role in IoT. Then banking, KYC and preventing money laundering. I also told that bank should be removed or replaced in the coming time, because of it might happen in it might happen in future because of blockchain. Maintaining government can also use the blockchain, so stock markets can also use the blockchain as a, and then medical hospital person can also use the blockchain for storing the hospital data. As it is the trending technology, so not much of us aware, not much organization aware of this. As the time passes, as the more and more people using it become widely famous. So I'm done with it. Thank you